Yes, we are bulldozing our way back from the edge of space and headed back into the rest of the solar system. Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. I have been playing a little bit with the Odyssey, and it's getting a little insane out here, kind of just trying to make things work a little better. I'm trying to maintain as narrow a machine as possible because of the physics of the way the game works, which is why this is kind of built like a hammer, or at least like a bulldozer or something like that. But we now have double lines of epic turrets all the way across the top. We have, I forget how many, something like 20 or some odd, however many rocket launchers in here doing the work. And yeah, I've kind of doubled up on the power, which kind of caused a problem, which was really kind of funny when I did it. You have to kind of pay attention to what you're doing when you're doing these things, because you can't just run them off of one little line of the coolant and or the hot stuff or whatever it is. So we're going back to Fulgora because I have a bunch of the rock crushers, or the crushers, made up into epics now. I want to replace all of those. The system has grown because we need to be able to make science on this platform, so I did go ahead and grab all of this and stretch it downwards. The other thing that I'm finding very interesting now is that these particular chemical plants, the epic chemical plants, in reality, I have 4 of them per piece of stuff that we need, and I think all I really need actually is 2 now, given the epic. So I might do a little bit of work to cut this down and make this section a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, because we don't need 4 of them anymore. We only actually need 2 and a little bit of storage. It's making all the fuel it needs to keep these things running continuously. Again, moved a couple of things around just so we can have some space to do some stuff, and we now have a ridiculous amount of iron production, so we're keeping up and we're keeping things fed happy. It's a little spooky to kind of watch it because I had to do a little bit of modification out here. I used to have these pointed kind of like this, and for whatever reason, if they have to turn and then shoot, they take a lot of time to turn and then shoot. So if you have one pointing this direction and then it needs to shoot at something this direction, it has to turn, think about it, and then get smashed by a rock that should have gotten taken out. So I moved it down, or moved it over to where they point sideways and, well, should say straight forward. This ship is probably not going to spend a lot of time sitting idle. It's just going to be moving space to space to space, which is why I've been trying to build the production on it to continuously produce stuff. So it's not like we have to sit and wait. The only thing we're really kind of sitting and waiting on is these. But I think, given that I have a reasonable amount stashed on this belt, and that this thing is going to have to go from 2 or 3 different places back to novice, it will have plenty of time to rebuild up whatever its its excess is, to the point that if I really wanted to, I could filter off a reasonable amount, stuff them in the hub, and then as we go we could just put it back. So it's got a long trip to do whatever it's doing. It's not working too terribly bad, but it is, at least doing the work for the moment. The only thing that I'm having problems with, and I'm continuing to have problems with on this one and other platforms, is that for some reason when it stops, these collectors down here don't pick things up, and I don't know why. We're destroying stuff back here. Sometimes even like this one doesn't want to do it, and it's not because I'm using any magical, I would call it redstone, wire technology, or circuit conditions, or anything like that. It's just that for whatever reason, you have to break it off, and then, or I should say break and replace, as they would say, and then it works fine. So I don't know what the deal is. It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it's slowly plowing through the world doing the thing. I don't know if I mentioned this the last time. The Endurance, the one that is going between Fulgora and Aquilo, I went ahead and stuck in a fusion reactor system with the fusion generators, and by doing so, that allows you to kind of crank up production, because then you can take all of those efficiency modules out of things and replace them with the regular speed modules and other stuff, and then they become very crazy. What are you waiting on? No, I've been doing a little bit of adjustment to some of this stuff, trying to make a little bit more sense of the mess that we've been producing. I've been adding in the stack inserters in a few places, like here, just so that I can take the process and put as much certain things on, like ice and whatnot, as possible, to the point I need to actually stretch those out. Not 1,000, I want 500 of those, please. But yes, I've got a lot of this stuff built way overkill at this point in time on some of these guys, and it's absolutely insane how well some of this stuff is doing. Just because once you can take a little bit of power and put it on some stuff, it really goes to work. I am very much contemplating putting these on all of the other ships, just so that I don't have to keep screwing around with minimal power. But anyhow, did we get back to where we wanted to go, Odyssey? You're leaving. Okay, we're leaving Aquilo and headed to Fulgora. I want to go to Fulgora and trade out all of those for some epic ones. And then we're going to get into building the science that this thing is going to be building for us once we get to that point. Because today, I want to do a few of these. At least one. Anyhow, I think since we're sitting here waiting on some parts to show up, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and start thinking about utilizing this little bit of space here to make some science. We should have the parts down on planet where we're at, so let's just go ahead and make... Give me the thing. Good. So, did we get them all? Nice. Yes, please. So those are going to produce a lot of stuff now. Beautiful. That's what I want to see. So I've done a lot of work. Adding those stack inserters allows you to get a considerable amount of storage on these belts. These are set for like trash can at like 3,000 or 4,000. Yeah, 3,500. 3,600 things, 3,500 things. That gets it all the way up to about, like in here, I think it's like right there is where that starts to become a problem. So there's an awful lot of material sitting on these belts, which is really fantastic. Anyhow, we can get on to the next step here. So I want a few of these. They're down on Fulgora. We need to be able to, I think, try to get it to about there, maybe. Something about like that. Because these are going to produce science at a really reasonable rate, but they're going to take a lot of stuff to do it. So the numbers are something like 4 a second. In order to make 500 per minute, which is what my goal has been for the majority of the point, you only need 2 of these, technically. I mean, 2.5. I think it's I think at that rate it's like 2.3 or whatever, but we're going to go ahead and put 4 of them down because we have space for 4 of them. And I don't necessarily need to do anything else with these unless I really just want to throw some productivity in them, which we can do. I'm just not worried about it right now because the biggest problem is we're going to be trying to utilize something that we're going to have to go get from someplace else and bring it back. Why do I still have those? I thought I was getting rid of these. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're going to be fine. Anyhow, the problem is, once again, we're kind of stuck with this little hole, and I think I could probably get rid of that water tank if I cared enough. But I've already kind of sketched this out in my brain as to how I want to do this. So we're going to go ahead and do something kind of like the good old-fashioned belt weaving, but we have to do 2 belts to do it. So I'm going to start about right there and go here. Yeah, so we'll bring you up just one for now. So you go there, and then I'll take a little bit of belt here, and then we're going to take a little bit of belt here. And I think I'm going to do the output maybe through like right there. So output will be like here to there, and then that way. So we may need to move this one, we're going to see. Can I get there from you? Yes, I can. All right. The biggest problem is I'm going to run right out of space very quickly right here. So that's kind of why I was thinking we're going to do something. So the feed on this is going to need to be We're going to try to put 2 things on this belt, which means we got to do this, that, and then something like this for now. I don't suppose I have to do it that way. Which side? I always hate to do these because, like, it's which side is which when it does this. So, let's see. We'll just say we'll take the Promethium. Well, I don't want to take that stuff because if I throw that away, then I lose it. We'll take railgun ammo. Let's grab this, a railgun. No, we'll do this. Control C, and you. What side of the belt, if I put you on, do you go there? You go on that side. Beautiful. So, and then it does that. So either way, it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's what I needed to know. So you are going to need to go right there. Here. And then we're going to take our 3rd ingredient and bring it in right there. Down. Okay, cool. Getting there. This is all the fun parts about belt weaving and getting things to be silly. Because you don't know where stuff is actually going to be. So that means likely we're going to do the red feeding right here. So, boop, 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 done. I want a inserter. So that's going to be the 2 things, the items that we're going to put on that belt. And then this is going to come sideways next to it about there. So, fed. I don't even know if I need to do this. Let's just go all the way down. You can go here, 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 here. So that means the output line is going to be, like, maybe right there. So there. And then output. There. Sneaky around the corner to there. That's an ugly mess. Yeah, I need to move you guys over because you're not going to grab anything from there. We're going to go do that and that. Everybody should be good. So that's going to deliver to there. That'll deliver to there. That'll deliver to there. That'll deliver to there. So then we just tell this the things that we need to do. The thing I don't know about, again, is whether or not biter eggs will spoil up here. I guess if they do, we have rocket launchers. We can just blow the... Oh. I might import... We'll do the test live on camera. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send this on to where we need to go. So this should have biter eggs requested ready to go. I want to... I think we're going to deliver this. So this is going to be where we bring in, not this, those. So you can load that belt up. All right, I don't need something that massive because it won't matter anyway. That's going to take forever, isn't it? I don't know. We're going to see how this all is going to work. Given the fact that that's going to be something stupid like this, I may have to stretch this up. Because you can kind of weave this in and out if I try hard enough. We might have to do that. Because I can move this one up 1 block. Whatever. Stop this right now. Just stop. We're going to do this up 1. This is going to come in... down. No, it's got to go here. I need to do this. There. You down. In. Out. Go away. And then again out. In. This comes down. And then that. We might have to put the faster stuff on it too. I don't know. So then those will deliver there. Which theoretically I could do this and not have slowness here. Not that it matters. The thing is this is going to dump a whole lot of stuff. As soon as it goes, it's going to dump a whole lot of stuff. So those can deliver onto that. This is the output here. That's got to move up. Well, we'll see how awful this is going to be. Go. Okay. That's what I kind of figured was going to happen with this. So we're going to do kind of dumb like this. Just to get the throughput going. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So that was everything we had in stock. Nice. Well, I'm over here. Let's see. I need you out, and I need this to go to Novice because I went ahead and got a whole bunch of stuff stocked up over at Novice. Those things don't hold a lot, do they? Wow. Okay, anyhow. You are going to be our circuits. So circuit, or whatever this is. Processor. Processor. Turn. You're going to be biter egg. Turn. And then we need to go to Novice and pick up some stuff. So get to getting, my friend. Okay, so she's pulled into Novice. Novice should immediately start launching rockets with biter eggs in it, hopefully. Plus a bunch of stuff. I kind of dropped off a fair amount of these here, so we do have a bit of it to get rid of and cleaned out because I'm an idiot and was having problems. But anyhow, so yeah, we have a whole bunch of this stuff here to get used up. They'll be delivering that 10 by 10 by 10. And as soon as we get that going, then I'm going to request the next and final layer of science once it can make some. So we should have biter eggs. We have plenty. I'm just concerned. Like I said, I've got about 30 minutes to use those biter eggs. So we shall see what happens. Oh, there we go. And there is our first science being made and produced. Boy, those things go away really quickly. Again, I am a little concerned about these biter eggs hatching up here. No idea how much that made. Probably not a lot. It might be worth just to maybe run 2 of these things, given the quickness at which they're going to eat through these parts. Okay. So how much was that? I mean, I know that wasn't a whole lot of stuff. I grasp that whole concept. I know that was not a whole lot of stuff. 2 things I want to do just in case. Again, I don't really know what's going to happen, so I'm going to be a chicken. I want, like 1 of those there, and maybe 1 or 2 of those right here, and 1, 2, 3 of those right there. And if I could stick 1 right there, it'd be great. I don't know. So we're going to throw a few things down. Oh, and these I do not want you to target. Do you seriously mean I have to do everything? Shoot. Hang on a minute. I need to do... Well, we'll just see what happens. Hopefully they won't shoot. The lasers should nail things before those 2 rocket launchers can get to things. Hopefully. So, alright. How much science was that? We need 1,200 to complete the first thing. That was 120. Wow, we're going to be at this for a minute. Seriously. A minute. Okay, that's what I needed to know. I need to do a little bit of... God dang it. I hate inserters and belts in this game. It's such a stupid thing. Yeah, we're going to have to do that again, and again, and again, and again. So I think what we'll do, I'll do this, this, and then you can request those. Just go ahead and put them in that chest. We made 120 towards this goal. So that means I need to head myself back to the edge of the solar system and go run towards a planet, knowing good and well this is not going to last very long. These are going to rot on this belt and turn into biters. Yeah, I have 20 minutes to get back to where I can do anything. All right, well, I'm going to go get some parts. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, now comes the fun part. We're going to start traveling towards the shattered planet. I'm going to do something silly, which is I'm going to go no, and no, and no. And I'm going to carefully watch this number. We have about 6 minutes on some of these eggs. We should be able to produce a small amount of science while we're wandering ever so slowly towards the shattered planet. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to stop and farm every batch that it can farm every time we run into a red one. Now, here's the thing that's interesting about trying to get towards the shattered planet. When you slow down, the rate of asteroid spawning also slows down. If you maintain the same amount of production and firepower, theoretically, this little ship that we have right here, and by little I mean it's not really all that little, it's still a pretty reasonable sized ship compared to what other people have made. This little thing, at that rate of pace, probably can make it all the way to the shattered planet without having a problem. We're not going to worry about that, but we're going to farm all of the little red pieces that we can. So I'm going to get a little bit closer. We'll let it shoot those down, and then stop, so that I don't smash any of the little red rocks against the front of the ship. We're going to smash a few of them, but if I slow down at the right point, I should be able to pick up most of them. And yes, I can set priorities in here to have them pick up. Regardless, we need to stop. We've been running non-stop. No, 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 no. You, 50. Stop throwing them away. Actually, just stop throwing them away for right now. We need to make science. Yeah, I'm a little concerned these are going to go off. So, we'll find out. So I just heard one. They are going to spawn up here. Do you believe that? That's insane. Okay. That's what I was wondering, was whether or not we were going to be able to get some of these guys used up before they, you know, had a problem with things. Why is that in here? Get out of here. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to use them up. I got 45 seconds on what's left of the eggs in there. And 45 seconds on these eggs. So I probably should just hammer down and let her go, huh? Just do it. Try to get as much stuff in as possible, and then we're going to fill the box and leave. Start watching bugs spawn here any second. Yep, there they go. Splatity splat splat splat. Is that all of them? It's everybody there. And everybody there. Okay, well, I am going to then do a little bit more of this, and then we're going to turn around. We might be able to get there, we might not. We're going to go ahead and fill this box full. I ended up making 130, which is nice. We'll go ahead and just make as many of those as we can, and yeah, we'll go from there. It's kind of nutty that they said that's going to be a thing. Oh yeah, we may have to move those backwards. What was the next 60,000? $60,000. We might make it there, just depending on how much I can stuff in these guys. Because this is an interesting thing. That's a storage for 50 rocks. It might be worth trying to go ahead and just expand this out and make 40, make 4 of them, because that's storage for 200 rocks. This, I think, holds about 1,000. Maybe. I don't know. Alrighty, we're coming up on 60,000. We got the 2 achievements that I wanted to get today. Stop. How full are we? We are almost full. Okie day. That's going to be a fun thing to do. I really need to get rid of these. I don't know why they're in here. Can I do that while I'm sitting here? No, I think I gave away all of my belts. I've got a couple of belts left. All right, so yeah, that's definitely nuts. We're going to have to think seriously. If we're going to try to make it to the edge of space, then we may have a little bit of fun trying edge of space. We're right there, and we need to make it to there. That's going to be a while, I understand. I don't know if it's, again, worth our time to try to worry about this, because at the current rate of speed that I'm going, well, at 100 kilometers a second, that's going to take a good amount of time to get out there. That's all I can say. Yeah, that's going to have to happen a lot faster than that. So I can understand why people have a lot of fun, because that's a funny number. That's number of the beast. At that rate, it'd take 666 hours to get out there, or 666 minutes to get there, or 11 hours. So yeah, fun times. We shall turn around and go take all this back to Novice, and our first batch got us that much. So I was hoping that by the end of this episode I would be able to make that happen. It does not look like that is going to be the case. So we're going to turn around, go back, and hopefully not die in the process. Okay, I think it's time to make the final trip for this episode back to Novice with a whole bunch of random stuff and a little bit of science. So our last little bit got us almost to 30%, and that was 120 science. We have 130 on us now, and I believe we should be able to make about another 130 or 120. So we might actually be able to get really close to completing this today, or at least somewhat completing that first little bit. So we're not that far from completing all of the researches. The only thing left, again, is going to be legendary quality, and it is probably going to be the last thing I do many moons from now, mainly because I just, again, don't really feel like rejigging everything for legendary stuff just yet. Sadly, I feel like this series is going to start wrapping up pretty soon. I think there's going to be a couple of things I want to do, one of which is to revisit Gleba and rebuild its science so that this is producing 500 per minute from the current, I think, 300 or whatever it is that it's doing right now, like 360. We just need to ramp that up just a little bit more, and then I think Vulcanus is going to be the same thing here. I think this is making like 380 or 3 something along those lines, and we just need to ramp this up to 500 as well, and then we can just go from there. I think that's pretty much where we're going to go with this. So as we wait on that to show up, let's see what else is going on. Should be, where is it? It's already here, almost here. Yeah, okay, cool. Does move reasonably well. I think the only issue that you're going to see going forward is that you need to be able to make a lot of material so that you can continue to produce the rounds needed to be able to blast through all of those asteroids getting towards the shattered planet. So, do I have room in my inventory? I do. They will deliver a few eggs to us here very shortly, so any time now, really. And then we should start making science again. I think while I'm at it, actually, I want to do maybe this. So before you guys do any, oh crap, I didn't want to do that. Do this, pick those up, put them in there. I was going to say, while they're busy making things, we could throw a bunch of productivity in here. We could do a little bit of work, add a little bit of productivity. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe I just do this anyway. Just do that all the way across. And then we can grab a couple of beacons. Oh, cool. That'll actually fit. Nice. Put you right about there. And then beacon these. So, boop, 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 boop. And fill those full of these. And that'll help a little. So those are going to now make, well, once those get up here. That's a lot better. It's only 2 versus what it would have been, which is 10. Wow. Oh my. Yeah, I should have been doing that a long time ago. Yeah. That's very nice. Did we already eat all of that up? Wow. That's ridiculous. So essentially now, as soon as that gets loaded up and ready to go, once we have 100 of these, then I need to just immediately turn and burn on this thing and get the heck out of here, right? So we should be making science again. Well, we should be doing science again. Novice, I went ahead and stuck a belt in on that, got it on the belt, so this is running just this line of them for right now. So, yeah, you just go ahead, I hate to say it, turn and burn back to the edge of the solar system. Go. And then I will see you in... It takes 15 minutes for it to get from here to there. So we have about 50... If I'm careful, I have about 15 minutes to get this done. So I can run out for 15 minutes, gather and make science, and then turn around and come back. But yes, that is 27.9 per second, but it's 20 a second. So... yeah, that definitely helped a little bit. Anyhow, let's go over here. We might even be able to get fairly close. I have no idea how much that made for us. But we have, all of these are running. And we have stuff on the belt. So I might accidentally get lucky and be able to get this first research done, which would mean we have several achievements done through this episode. So I'm going to give this a couple of minutes and see where we end up. While that slowly makes its way. Alrighty, 99, 98, come on. 98, 99. I know it looks pretty ugly. We had quite a bit. I think we made something like 500 pieces of science. So, come on. One more achievement. Dink did a dink. Research something with a Promethium Science packs. Now, what that's going to do is every time we do one of these, it's going to add 10% on the research productivity, which means every single one of these pieces of science is now going to equal 10% more than it did before. Now, here's the thing. I get the total idea about this whole process and why this excites me as far as a person that, you know, has played this game for a really, really, really long time, or at least a reasonable amount of time. Efficiency-wise, it makes so much sense to just send things back and forth out there and try to at least do as much of this as you possibly can versus screwing around with quality. Because I can just keep making those things and researching this, and my efficiency will go up by 10% every single time, regardless on the hours that I spend, unlike the random number stuff that happens with the quality production. I understand quality and I understand how this whole thing will mix together. But this is gorgeous, and this is end game kind of really neat, fun stuff. So I think in between episodes, I'm going to kind of crank out some of those and maybe get that up a little bit. I don't know how much fun this is going to be, but the last one was 1,200, and it took a little less than 500 science packs to make. The next one will take a little bit less than that, and a little bit less than that, and a little bit less than that. Here we sit, though. We're almost at the cusp of finishing what I would consider this game, this DLC. I have to do this, which I'm probably just going to save, and we'll worry about it later. I want to touch on rebuilding the science on Gleba to make 500 per minute. And again, Vulcanus, I do believe, make 500 per minute. And I believe Aquilo should be okay. Basically, I want to get everything up to about 500 per minute, and then I'm going to figure out how to get something that can gently coast its way all the way to the Shattered Planet, and then we'll probably end this. But that's going to be a long time from now. So I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. We did the science. We got some stuff done. And yeah, I'm going to see what we can't do about making some more of that stuff. So I will see you all later. Bye.